Before you recover debt in Vietnam, you must understand one critical distinction. Is your case a civil debt dispute or a commercial one? This legal classification determines everything, from court jurisdiction to evidence requirements to enforcement strategies. Foreign companies often overlook this. They treat all unpaid invoices the same. But under Vietnamese law, how your claim is categorized could make or break your case. A civil debt dispute typically arises from non-commercial relationships, such as loans between individuals, property rental payments, or debt resulting from non-business transactions. These disputes are governed by the Civil Code of Vietnam and are heard in civil courts. Civil claims often require higher documentation standards, stricter burden of proof, and more cautious procedural handling. For foreign individuals or companies lending money informally, this is the legal path, but it's often slow and rigid. Commercial debt, on the other hand, arises from business to business, B2B, transactions, contracts for goods, services, logistics, subcontracting, or joint ventures. These disputes fall under Vietnam's commercial law and are resolved by economic courts or arbitration forums like VIAC. The process is often faster, more flexible, and more familiar to international standards. If you're supplying goods, delivering services, or distributing products, your dispute is almost certainly commercial. Here's why classification matters. If your dispute is filed incorrectly, say, as civil when it should be commercial, your claim can be delayed, transferred, or dismissed. Worse, the defendant can exploit the misclassification to deny jurisdiction or demand procedural resets. LTS Law has handled multiple cases where clients filed in the wrong forum based on incomplete legal advice, costing them months. Once we reclassified and refiled, enforcement resumed. Lesson: always verify your dispute type before taking legal action. In Vietnam, civil courts handle personal and non-commercial debts. Economic courts, under the People's Court system, handle disputes between legal entities or business parties. Commercial disputes can also be resolved by arbitration, especially when contracts include dispute resolution clauses. For foreign companies, economic courts or arbitration are usually more effective, not only due to case type, but also because they better handle translated contracts, international documentation, and foreign party procedures. In commercial disputes, courts are more accustomed to invoice chains, commercial terms, and performance schedules. Civil courts, however, agreements, clear personal liability, and direct evidence of intent. Also, civil disputes may involve more restricted enforcement if the debtor is not a registered enterprise. Knowing what proof is accepted in each case type, and how it must be presented, is essential. At LTS Law, we prepare each client's file with the specific courtroom in mind. Commercial debt enforcement may involve asset freezing, bank account tracing, or even filing for insolvency or travel bans. Civil enforcement can be more limited, especially if assets are held under private names or if the debt is informal. For companies seeking quick recovery, the commercial path is far more structured. And because economic courts regularly process high-value claims, they move faster under pressure when filings are professionally prepared. A Hong Kong trading company loaned working capital to a Vietnamese partner under a short-term contract. Their local lawyer filed the claim as a civil debt. After months of silence, the case was rejected, due to lack of notarization and improper classification. When they turned to LTS Law, we reviewed the documents, identified that the funds were part of a broader commercial supply agreement, and filed again as a commercial dispute. Within 10 weeks, the court accepted the case and issued a payment order. Before we take action on any debt case, we ask one question: is this civil or commercial under Vietnamese law? Then we assess risk, timeline, and optimal recovery route. Our lawyers consult the commercial law, civil procedure code, and contract terms to decide. From there, we craft a plan, litigation or arbitration, with all documents structured accordingly. That's how we avoid unnecessary delays and maximize enforcement results. Not all debts are created equal, and neither are the legal pathways to recover them. If your company is preparing to file a claim in Vietnam, or is unsure whether a debt is civil or commercial, contact LTS Law. We'll help you map the fastest and most enforceable route to recovery. Visit lts.com.vn for a tailored consultation. In Vietnam, correct classification isn't just legal detail, it's legal power.